Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Previously in a talk I think I called Horticultural Healing, I summarized gardening's well-known benefits, seeing the miracle of growth, it being good exercise, plus I offered some gardening how-tos. Here I'm going to focus on gardening's more subtle benefits, and they may be core to many people's motivation to garden, and maybe motivate you to take up or spend more time gardening. It's the world's most popular pastime. And that may be of particular utility now as we continue to be urged or mandated to stay home amid COVID. Note that my advice is going to be relevant whether you have a garden, a window box, or simply want to grow indoor houseplants. The first benefit is relative certitude. In a life that's filled with uncertainty, gardening's relative certitude can be welcome. Per a song's lyrics from the show The Fantastics, plant a radish, get a radish, never any doubt. They're dependable, they're befriendable, they're the best pal a parent's ever known. While with children, it's bewildering. You don't know until the seed is nearly grown just what you've sown. The next, perhaps less obvious benefit of gardening is that each action you take is likely to yield improvement. The benefit could be visible immediately, as when you're weeding or pruning, or the benefit could be later, as in the case of selecting the right cultivars, the right varieties, or the way you prepared your soil, or the way you fertilized. Next benefit that may be less obvious of gardening is that it's a nice balance of judgment calls and clear rights and wrongs. The best games are mainly skill, but with some luck, like, for example, Scrabble or poker. That's also true of gardening. For example, there are clearly superior and inferior varieties. For example, the lavender rose called Neptune, rather than the now obsolete sterling silver. Yet your success with it is going to depend on your microclimate, on a given year's weather, or whether your particular rose is beset by some entomological or fungal infestation. I don't mean the particular rose. It's going to be, roses in your microclimate. Anyway, another advantage of gardening that may be less obvious is it's an easy opportunity for experimentation. It's fun to experiment. And with gardening, you have unusual control. You can do quite a bit of experimenting without much hassle. For example, you could compare two varieties, or one plant of a variety in sun, the other in semi-shade, or one that's watered once a week and another twice a week. One that's using a once-a-season time-release fertilizer, the other that requires reapplication every 6 weeks. And a final, perhaps under-discussed pleasure of gardening is you're participating in the joy of a progressing field. When I started gardening decades ago, heirloom tomatoes were the fad. But even the most touted variety of heirlooms, Brandywine, produced just a few large pinkish tomatoes. The plant was disease-prone, and it succeeded only in some climates. Now, I have such choices of tomatoes as Big Beef, which nationwide produces dozens of delicious big tomatoes on a healthy plant, and, for example, Orange Peruche. It's a multi-taste test winning, healthy, prolific, orange-colored cherry tomato. When I started gardening, I had to water by hand. Now, drip irrigation, which is controlled by a $60 timer, enables my plants to be watered automatically on one or more of 6 different schedules. The internet makes it easy to find the best cultivars for your locale and your preferences, and with a couple of clicks it's at your door in days. That's a particular boon amid the stay-home urgings. Plant hybridizers and gardening equipment engineers' progress reminds me of the sense of optimism that I've derived over the decades from seeing computers go from the room-sized monster I needed for my dissertation to my iPhone SE today, which for under $100 in a refurb gets us internet, email, thousands of songs, movies, and wireless phone in just a few ounces, something you can stick in your pocket. The takeaway? Even if you live in an apartment and are limited to indoor plants, gardening can offer unusual comfort and pleasure, something we all could use amid the stay-the-hell-home edicts. In any event, I thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and I particularly like it if you hit the share button below and share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact, and I'm flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.